Sorry, Trump won. Transphobia's back on the menu. Guys, listen, I think Buck Angel's, you know, pretty. I think Buck Angel's pretty. Let's leave it at that. No, dude.
Yes.
Yes.
You think males? Sorry, you think males can have babies?
Yes.
Right.
What the fuck? What the fuck? A male cannot become pregnant, no.
Like I'm teaching you now.
Words can mean whatever we want them to mean. So nothing matters. Just say whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Aqua. Did you know that aqua means water? Come on, bro. Look. That is the clearest case I've ever seen in my fucking life. In all of my years as a doctor. Whilst we are here, so what is this? This is another service from the looks of it. The son daughter you always wanted for $29.99 a month. Who is this fucking unit? Dude, what the fuck, bro? No way, who is this fucking unit?
Gender GP has arrived.
Well, good heavens, what have we here? If it isn't the co-founder of Gender GP, Mrs. Helen Weberly.
Right here in America. Today I'm
Not
in
a fan of the
Washington,
edits.
D.C. to start letting American trans and non-binary people know that gender-affirming care is now more affordable than ever.
You see, it's not all bad news. Gender-affirming...
I can tell after 30 seconds my audience is going to fucking hate this guy. I already know. I already feel... Dude, I can feel it straight away. Whenever I'm like, okay, people in chat are going to fucking not like this. I can just tell straight away, dude. You know. Instantaneously. Instantaneously, I just know.
Care is now more affordable than ever. And the founders of the multi-million-dollar companies that provide all of that gender-affirming care can now advertise to you with all of the glee and...
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I got a video about the same clinic from the from Buck Angel. Yeah, link that. We can have some funny memes about Buck Angel's testosterone riddled snatch. That'll be funny. Don't be mean, guy. You guys are too mean. You guys are too mean. Come on. I'm a doctor. So was Mengele. He's a psychopath. What an evil woman. Trans child is like a vegan cat we know is pushing the agenda.
Ovaries, a womb, a uterus, a vagina, and that means you can carry a baby.
Transgender males being women.
Well, that's extremely disrespectful to transgender males. I don't.
Well, they are women, aren't they? They're biological women.
They are males.
Well, if they're males,
they're not. But they're not males. That's just incorrect. Sorry, Trump won, bitch. Transphobia's back on the menu.
What do you mean by biological women?
Oh, hang on a minute. If they're males, why do you call them transgender males?
I just can't even believe this is about to happen in this country. Pay attention.
Let's get stuck into this, shall we? A global leader in digital gender-affirming healthcare.
Wait, hang on a sec. I might as well just watch the original video, no? Actually, maybe he's going to provide some context. Let's listen to this.
It has officially launched in the United States.
Watching this, I'm locked in
with
now.
some controversy. GenderGP.com is offering evidence-based and affordable access to care for transgender and non-binary individuals across certain states in the US.
Remember when progressives started trying to argue that trans women are female because words are made up? That was a Vosh argument for years. Oh, dude. Dude. What was that debate he had? I don't think I ever watched that. But what was that argument with that linguist guy? Not tomfoolery. And he got totally knocked about on it. And the guy was just totally raped him. And it's where the aqua meme comes from.
Yes, and that includes, by the way, individuals, includes children.
What? Did you hear that? Okay, digital. Digital. So it's online.
Why does Buck sound like Malcolm?
Thank you for the super chats. Because of the effect hormones has on vocal cords, I think, isn't it? Don't people's vocal cords get affected by this?
This Dr. Helen Weberly is a wingnut, psychopath, in my opinion, wait till I show you. If you don't know who she is, you're going to know by the end of this video, and you're going to be disgusted. And this psychopath is bringing her gender affirming care. When you just listen to what this interview is about, is going to blow your mind. This person, I just gotta stop, because I can just say so many things right now, and I really want to be focused on this for you and for me. So with that, thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you so much for liking and commenting. Your comments are amazing. And with that, I really want to get into this, because this is so important. This crazy person is bringing their gender clinic, which includes for kids, children.
Chud better listen to DK. Literally dropped gold and Chud ignored it. I've not ignored it. What do you mean, dude? I'm already thinking tomorrow, right? It's going to be weird tomorrow because I've got to pick my kids up from school. So I won't be around till the evening. But then I'm thinking I could watch that tomorrow evening on tomorrow evening stream that I'm going to have to do. So I'm already on it. I'm already thinking about it, okay? Just because I don't say everything doesn't mean I'm not thinking, okay?
And puberty blockers. This woman pushes puberty blockers like they're candy. Okay, they're bringing it to the USA. Okay, just stop, Buck. Stop. I have to talk myself off the cliff. Okay, so let's get back into this video.
Well, joining me now is Dr. Helen Weberly, the founder of gendergp.com. Helen, thank you for your company. Welcome along.
Thank you very much.
Just to clarify, just tell us what gendergp.com does. You basically provide referrals for prescriptions from doctors for people who want to access puberty blockers, cross-hormone drugs, and so on.
Yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, gender-affirming care means switching off your own hormone production from your ovaries or testicles and then swapping it with the opposite hormone. So basically, that's how it works.
Okay, so you're active in the UK. You're based where? Singapore?
I live in the UK, Spain, that area.
Okay, and which states?
Sorry, just to take a quick step back. I must say that I must defend Finster on this one basis. No prescription, no blood test, expensive, just do DIY. Like, do you really genuinely think, with the temperature of how all the trans stuff has been discussed over the past few years, do you genuinely think that Finster can promote DIY to that level? Where it's just like, don't bother, just do DIY. Look at what happened with fucking Keffels when that was the suggestion. It's like, bro, these people are so nuts. They don't understand just how utterly out of the Overton window of discussion around trans topics is now. Bro, they're getting rid of the trans from the Olympics. Wake up! Wake up! You've lost!
To be offering this service too.
No, don't make me list them, because geography's not my best.
I think I've got to know. I'll tell you.
You've got to know. You tell me.
California, New York, Colorado, Illinois, Washington State, Arizona, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Minnesota. First questions first. Why particularly just a certain few states? Is it because of certain laws in different states?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult political arena, isn't it, at the moment? As you mentioned in your intro, there's a lot of social and political chatter. So I think, to start gently with the kind of the less controversial views is an easier way of approaching it, really.
Okay.
OMG, she's coming to my state. I'm not gonna. Oh no, lady, you are in for a big surprise when you try to open that clinic here in California, Arizona, New York. I don't remember the other ones at this point, but you all remember. And let's just make a list of those and let's get on this ASAP. That clinic was shut down in the UK, by the way, because this doctor lost their license, which I will show you a little bit more as we progress. But I want to go through this interview first. This psychopath, crazy Dr. Evil is now trying to bring her medicine into our country because it's been blocked in her country. Do you see that? It's actually in.
Why does Buck kind of look like Chud? Oh my god, dude. Guys, listen, I think Buck Angel's, pretty. I think Buck Angel's pretty. Let's leave it at that. No, dude. I think Buck Angel's, based. I think they're all right, aren't they?
saying that this is happening. And to the person and persons out there who sent me this video this morning, thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so glad we are on this ASAP. Okay, so, and also don't forget, it's digital. You can digitally do your appointment and get puberty blockers for your 10-year-old. It's so, oh my God, it's just wow, just effing wow.
So let's get stuck into this. In February 24, Dr. Helen, the Telegraph reported that the Clinical Commissioning Group for South East London Clinic had issued a safety alert for gendergp.com, saying that, advising doctors not to prescribe puberty blockers or gender-affirming hormone therapy on your company's advice because your clinic doesn't provide physiological or psychological support to its patients. You were struck off by the GMC in 2024. What was that for?
No. I've not been struck off by the GMC in 2024.
You've lost your licence to practice?
I don't have a licence to practice. I relinquished my licence to practice, but I didn't. So
why didn't you renew it?
Why didn't I renew it?
Yeah.
Because I had regulatory work, if you like, for 6 years, and it was then too late to go back into it, basically. But I was cleared in March 24. The High Court cleared me of everything that the GMC were looking at.
You were also involved, this is pertinent to our discussion, so I'm just going to reel through these. You also, in 2024, the High Court ruled...
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, a 15-year-old child was prescribed dangerous levels of hormones by your unregulated online clinic.
Oh, wait.
Without speaking to a doctor.
Where are you getting that one from?
Court transcripts from the High Court.
Which High Court?
In London.
No.
The teenager known as Jay was born female but identifies as a boy and has autism.
That's not UK news. That was an Australian case.
Judge Sir Andrew McFarlane said there must be a very significant...
Oh no, he's got the wrong country, but the substance is correct. Hey, Clams! Thank you for the kicks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
concern about the prospect of a young person such as Jay accessing cross-hormone treatment from any offshore, online, unregulated private clinic. The judgment in your case, Dr. Helen, says there was no medical examination, blood testing or other clinical evaluation was undertaken. Jay has not had any direct communication with a doctor at any stage during the referral to Gender GP.
OMG. Unregulated. Unregulated. It's an... I'm going to keep saying it. How can there be a clinic giving out cross-sex hormones, giving out puberty blockers, which are still experimental, to little kids? And do you notice how nervous she is? She's always very nervous. And she's always like this. And no, that's not right. I'm going to tell you that I just did that video on the BBC and how they were totally blocking trans people.
No, this guy is not gay. Buck Angel is a famous female to male transgender porn star. Do not Google them if you do not want to be. If you don't want a little surprise. If you don't want to see a little tasty treat. Okay.
Who were opposing trans surgery. This isn't BBC. This is GB News, which I find to be a better news program. But that being said, I don't believe anything that comes out of this lady's mouth because...
Does he have a dick? No. No, they don't. No. Let's just say they did not have a penis installed. Let's put it that way, okay?
As we progress in this video, you are going to see what a complete wingnut liar she is. Unregulated clinic. Online digital. No evaluations. Like all of these things, and you're telling me that trans...
Yo, Clams, stay with the kicks. Stay with the 100 kicks.
Kids exist, and you're letting doctors like this touch children, people? Doctors like this should be in jail. She lost her license, which I will show you in a minute. I'm sorry if I'm screaming and crazy, but that's my energy around this because, I care about these kids a lot and I care about this. And no way are you bringing that shit to this country. I'm going to be so on top of this.
Your husband, Mike Webberley, is he involved in Gender GP?
No.
No. He's on your website.
Well, he may be from old, but he's not involved.
Why was he struck off?
There were many different reasons in that court case against my husband, but he's not here. I think if you want to ask him, you would ask him.
Well, the Telegraph reported a reckless doctor, referring to your husband, who wrongly prescribed puberty blockers to a transgender 9-year-old child after a 10-minute chat on Skype, has been struck off. Michael Weberly's treatment of 24 patients was deemed a catalogue of failings between February 2017 and June 2019. That's what the tribunal found.
Well, this is what the Telegraph is reporting, yeah.
Directly from the tribunal. So your husband, Mike Weberly, has nothing to do with Gender GP?
No.
But the reason I'm asking these questions is because you're now coming into the United States off the back of a whole host of controversy. You dish out puberty blockers you refer prescriptions for doctors for puberty blockers.
Puberty blockers are prescribed by doctors. So I mean, you talk about the fact there's no doctor involved. I mean, how can you possibly get medicines without a doctor involved? You know.
It happens all the time, lady.
Dude, that sounds pretty rough, man. The Telegraph can have a spin on this stuff, but I mean, that's just sound rough.
Because people go on the internet and they have an appointment, like you just said, digitally, because there are those things here in the United States, and all you see is a therapist, and next thing you know, there's loopholes. There is 100% loopholes around all this. Don't listen to her. You can get it without a doctor because they're getting it without doctors, okay? People are even talking about it here, and I've heard people talking, okay, well, I don't know physically heard, but I've read that they're looking how to create an underground railroad system to create so that parents can still get the puberty blockers for their children, okay, without doing it legally. So what do this woman just lies out of her ass constantly, but you wait, it's going to get even more insane what she says.
It's very easy to give this one side of the argument from newspaper headlines because that's what sells newspapers. But what you have to do is look at the whole picture. How can you possibly dish out a puberty blocker from a doctor with no contact with a doctor? Okay.
My 2-year-old son came up to me the other day. I went back home to the UK. And he said, "Daddy, I'm going to have a baby." And I said, "Zach, you can't have a baby because you're a boy. You're a man. You can't have babies." And he said, "Well, I'm going to be a girl. I want to be a girl." What would you have said to him if you were me?
Well, I wouldn't have said, "Zach, you're a boy and boys can't have babies."
Okay, can we listen? Okay, I'm all up for this woman, railing on this woman. Okay, but that is obviously bullshitting. A 2-year-old wouldn't say that. Are you serious, bro? A 2-year-old. Come off it, dude. Come up with a more believable age, at least. Like a 2-year-old, not because a 2-year-old cannot speak to that level. They don't have the ability to say things to that level, dude. No! No, because 2-year-olds cannot speak. Like that.
Babies, because that's absolutely not true. So, I mean, I don't know what your parenting is like.
You don't think think boys can have babies?
You mean males?
Yes.
Yes.
You think males? Sorry, you think males can have babies?
Yes.
Right.
Bro, what? A female can have a baby, and that is why a trans man can become pregnant because they are female. What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude? A male cannot become pregnant. No, it's impossible. It's literally impossible for a male to become pregnant. This person's been watching that movie, Junior. Remember Junior? That movie Junior. They've just gone so woke. They made Junior a reality.
Right.
Do you want me to explain?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So transgender males have a womb, a uterus, and ovaries. Okay, so they were born, if you like, female, and but they actually identify as males. So we refer to them as males.
But you just said they were born female. You actually said it. So what the F are you talking about, lady? I am a female. Don't you dare talk over me. Don't you dare represent me, okay? Don't you dare lie to the world about what a trans man is. A trans man is female. You literally just said it, okay? I am not a man. Men do not get pregnant. Men do not have menstruation, okay? So here's this is the doctor that you're going to trust your kid with in order, and then she's pushing back on this guy saying that, well, you're not a very good parent. I'm going to tell you that dude is an awesome parent because he's being real with his kid.
Okay, bro. Like, this is my problem with this, right? You can say this woman is a dumb bitch, but you're not challenging the idea that a 2-year-old was able to say that. Like, come on, dude. This is not fair coverage. You're basically propping up everything the guy's saying, even if it's patently fucking absurd and retarded, dude. The voice is annoying. I will say the voice is annoying. I do agree with that. And it might be too late for Buck Angel at this stage. And it might be that the ravaging that the testosterone has done on their battered vocal cords cannot be, got past at this stage. But I do think they need some voice training. They need some voice training. You're pretending it's not hyperbole. But I just think it's trying to bring this stupid personal touch to it. When what you could do is just say, if you had a situation where a child of this age said this, what would you say? You can make it more realistic. A 6-year-old, 7-year-old, something like that.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, when you show your dad energy, I get all warm and fuzzy.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
Because when you lie to your little kid and then they grow up and figure out the truth, how do you think they're going to be with you as a parent? They're going to think you're lied about everything. What a psycho. This person has kids? Or your kids?
Ovaries, a womb, a uterus, a vagina, and that means you can carry a baby.
Transgender males being women.
Well, that's extremely disrespectful to transgender males. I don't.
Well, they are women, aren't they? They're biological women.
They are males.
Well, if they're males...
What do you mean by biological women?
Well, hang on a minute. If they're males, why do you call them transgender males? Why put transgender in the...
Transgender is an adjective.
Right, but if they just call them males then, why do you call them transgender males?
No problem at all.
So you're changing that now?
No, I'm not changing that. You said, can males have babies? And I said, yes, males can have babies.
Well, all over your website, you refer to transgender women, transgender males. If these people are genuinely male and female, why do you call them transgender?
Well, why do you use adjectives for anything? If you're clarifying, if you're teaching somebody like I'm teaching you now...
Words can mean whatever we want them to mean, so nothing matters. Just say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Aqua. Did you know that aqua means water? Did you know that aqua means water?
You need to clarify, and there you go.
This woman mixes up language, okay? There is something that I just learned, and it's this phrase that says, it's this quote that I saw this person say, language changes when leaders try to hide flaws. This person... okay, a leader in trans children healthcare is changing language because they know they have flaws in their ideology. And when you first off said, I'm a female because I'm a trans man, then you keep going and saying that I'm a male, you're trying to mix people up with changing of language. That's exactly because
my 2-year-old asked me about the geopolitical relationship between Sudan and the rest of Africa and the world. How would you respond, Chud? With a tirade of unimaginable racism, hitherto unseen. That is how I would respond.
Because you have flaws in your ideology. You're lying to the world about what a man and a woman is, and that children can change their sex. They cannot change their sex, okay? So I'm going to stop there at the interview because she's a wingnut, and I'm going to put a link to this because you should watch the whole thing.
Okay, I do want to watch the rest of it because that was quite interesting. Oh, there's no link. Okay, well, if someone... Oh, no, there is a link. There is a link. We got it.
It gets totally insane. And she's totally insane. But that was, to me, the most important part of this. It's coming to the States. They're going to try to use gender GP.
Bro, we got like chain trans. I feel like it's been a while since we've done trans tent, so we're really filling our boots today.
Down in the UK to open up in already how many 5 or 6 states in our country, okay, with under the guise of gender affirming care for children, which all the major I don't know how they're legally going to do this because all the major hospitals shut down their gender clinics and stopped using puberty blockers. So I want first to give you a little bit background on the nutcase, okay? So she did get her postgraduate qualifications in general practice in sexual health, okay? That's the kind of doctor she is, in 1992. And then I put in, is Helen Weberly still a doctor? And it says this: Helen Weberly's license to practice was revoked by the General Medical Council on July 2024 after failing to comply with her legal obligations to revalidate her license every 5 years. And she even said it there. She doesn't have a license. She does not have a she's not a doctor. Yet she keeps putting...
Right, where... Okay. Okay. I think we'll just have to look at the Wikipedia page because I don't know what the ins and outs of this is. Okay. In May of 2017, Helen, the GP, was issued an interim suspension order by the General Medical Council following complaints made about a clinical approach by clinicians at the Gender Identity Development Service. On appeal, the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service found in 2022 that while Helen failed to provide adequate follow-up care to 2 patients, she was competent to provide treatment to trans youth and adults. The tribunal also found that her fitness to practice was impaired, saying she had failed to provide adequate advice to an 11-year-old patient about the risks of fertility arising from treatment. It suspended her from practice for a period of 2 months. The tribunal findings were later overturned by the High Court, describing the tribunal's thinking as confused, clearly wrong in places, and that it omitted important reference to important evidence. The ruling found the allegation in the charge of failing to provide advice on the effects of fertility to the 11-year-old patient was unclear, as it did not state whether there was no discussion at all, whether there was a discussion but it was not directed to the patient. It also found the tribunal had erred by omitting reference to an email from Helen's administrative assistant to the patient's mother. Although Jay had concerns about some aspects of Helen's practice in relation to the patient, including that she should have discussed the risk of fertility directly with the patient, he said, "It is far from clear to me that what did take place should be strongly criticised." As a result of the appeal, Helen was allowed to resume work as a doctor in the United Kingdom. As a result of the wife's suspension in 2017, Mike, then that's the husband, then a retired gastroenterologist, took over the care of the clinic's patients. In May 2019, the GMC issued an interim suspension order against Mike, stating that the care he provided fell below the standards expected. A subsequent MPTS hearing found Mike had acted outside the limits of his expertise when providing treatment to 7 transgender patients at Gender GP. Although the tribunal noted he had not been subject to any previous disciplinary findings, it concluded that his conduct was incompatible with registration as a doctor and struck his name from the medical register. Jesus, that's pretty extreme. And then Helen Weberly's license to practice was revoked by the General Medical Council after failing to comply with a legal obligation to revalidate a license every 5 years. So that sounds administrative, but why did she not choose to do that? You know, why did she not renew her license? That sounds pretty deranged, does it not? Very suspicious. Very, very, very suspicious stuff happening with this person, I'd say.
Putting doctor in front of her name. She's not legally a doctor. She's a psychopath. And I'm just like, so I guess any psychopath can be a doctor. Gender GP is an online gender clinic founded in 2015 by physicians Ellen Weberly and Mike Weberly.
Okay, well, yeah. I don't... to be honest with you, okay. Buck Angel's... Listen, Buck Angel, well done. Well done, buddy. You've yeah, cool. Let's watch the rest of this. I'm more interested in this.
Leader in
Important interruption is brought...
referrals for prescriptions from...
Care means switching off your own hormone.
We've watched this.
Physiological or psychological support to his patients.
To it, basically. But I was cleared in March 24.
That is true. She was.
The High Court cleared me of everything that the GMC were looking at.
You were also involved, this is pertinent to our discussion, so I'm just going to reel through these. You also, in 2024, the High Court ruled...
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, a 15-year-old child was...
That was an Australian case.
Oh.
Well, he may be
We're now coming into the United States off the back of a...
Involved. I mean, how can you possibly get medicines without a doctor involved? You know, it's very easy.
Yes, please, yeah.
So transgender males...
Skip.
In Britain...
Bro, another fucking ad read. Give me a break, dude.
You can't have kids. You're a boy.
I think that's sad.
Here we go. This is it.
You think that's sad?
I do. I think, you know, if my son...
Do you know what it did? Do you know what it did? He said, "Oh, okay, Daddy, that's fine." And the next day he said, "Daddy, I'm Spider-Man." Would you want me to entertain that conversation and say, "Well, Zach, maybe you are Spider-Man"?
What do you say? "Oh God, no, not Spider-Man. Oh God, Zach, you can't be a girl. God, Zach, you can't be Spider-Man." Or can't we just let children explore? 2 is an amazing age to explore. Why aren't we letting our children explore? I actually feel sorry for Zach right now.
Oh well, so
explore in what way? Huh? Yeah, you can get pregnant, son. Dude, what the fuck, dude? That seems a bit, you know, a bit silly, doesn't it?
So, okay, well, I don't, because Zach has never mentioned becoming a girl again. And I think... Do
you know what my 1-month-old said? What's the implication of tariffs on monetary policy for Ireland?
No problem, no harm done.
Do you know, well, there is harm done when I argue
with people...
There's harm done,
because if Zach actually
Zach's not a girl, let me tell you. Zach is not a girl.
Let's talk about a different child, right, who went to his dad and said, "Dad, I actually feel like a girl." And the dad said, "No, that's not nice, because that shuts these kids down."
Well, the alternative is that you start...
The alternative is you believe them. The alternative is you can ask them, believe them, hear them. Or you can go, "No, Zach,
the alternative is you believe them, you entertain in a child's mind, which hasn't properly formed yet. As I said, they think they're Batman one day, a girl or a boy the next.
Developing exactly what
you then pump them with damaging, irreversible puberty blockers and hormones. Let's talk about puberty blockers. Lupron. Yeah. How active is Lupron?
Dude, I gotta be honest, this guy is not doing like a particularly good job of this. It just feels like he's scrambling about trying to hit all the talking points, and it's not, you know, like he should be leading it down a pathway or something. They also treat you like you are Hitler if you don't give them candies, but guess what? They bounce back.
Prescribed to people, to children. By the way, how young are some of your referrals?
Well,
9-year-olds?
It depends when puberty starts. It's not an age thing. Whenever your ovaries and testicles wake up.
Which could be as young as 9.
It could be as young as 8, if you like, yeah.
So you're happy prescribing 9-year-old children with
the alternative,
with puberty blockers, cross hormones.
Puberty blockers are the best time for puberty blockers is when puberty starts.
There was
Bro. What? What the fuck, dude? No, it's not. What do you mean? It's supposed to be to treat if puberty's happening too early, because that can, you know, completely fuck a child up if you let that happen. Not when puberty starts. Not if they don't need it. Not if there's not a medical necessity for it. And it is hotly debated about the medical necessity aspect of puberty blockers for kids with gender dysphoria.
There was a cache of files from WPATH, which is an organisation you regularly have referred to as being the kind of leading... The leading... You still stand by that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, last year there were leaked messages, I'm sure you're aware, from WPATH, which have been described as disturbing in one. So this was an internal forum from WPATH of doctors, of so-called experts. Let me just read one to you.
Yeah, but
so one doctor...
Where's the source? Wait a minute, before you, if you're going to ask me to comment...
Well, they're real messages. Let me read the message first.
How do you know? Like, leaked from where? Were they published?
It was published all over the Guardian. So this is one of your...
Oh my God, dude. Like, it's so obvious he's trying desperately to get to his point. But it's like, well, actually have knowledge of what you're talking about so that you've got the ability to credibly back it up. It was leaked from here. This is the paper that published them. You know, whatever. But he's just like, yeah, it was in the Guardian, wasn't it? It was in the Guardian. Like, no, have like an understanding of what you're talking about, and then you'll be able to fucking, you know, challenge this. Obviously, all the fucking boomers that watch this trash are just going to clap along to it. But it's like, dude, you just sound like you're fucking desperately clasping around.
Anyway. Leading experts who you regularly refer to. The president of WPATH, Dr. Marcy Bowers, said that the impact of early blocking of puberty on sexual function in adulthood said, to date, she writes, I'm unaware of an individual claiming the ability to orgasm when they were blocked at Tanner 2. Tanner 2 being the beginning of puberty.
He's going in there with
it
that
can
one.
be as young as 9 in girls. One other doctor wrote on this forum in leaked messages that young people, young patients are too young to fully understand the consequences of puberty blockers for their fertility. Quote, "It's always a good theory that you can talk about fertility preservation with a 14-year-old, but I know I'm talking to a blank wall." So even these doctors, even these so-called experts, which you heavily rely on at Gender GP, and you personally need to make your argument about pumping children with...
Pumping children?
Oh, sorry, you are. You're taking children. Anyway.
Oh my God, dude. Please watch this. What is this?
See, I don't talk about it too much because if I talk about it, they might change. So, no, I don't talk about it. I tell people, don't talk about it. Wait till 2 weeks before the election and hit the hell out of them. Right? We talked about that, right, Elon? He said, we wait 2 weeks before. It's almost like you're in a war. Don't shoot yet. Don't shoot. Hold your fire. The enemy's rushing. Hold your fire. Don't shoot. Okay, now you can go. 2 weeks before. But I watched a guy the other day, a congressman, fighting for men playing in women's sports. And the new weightlifting record for a certain weight was just set. The man was 119 pounds higher than a woman champion who was a phenomenal champion. Beat her by 119, and he was an average lifter prior to transitioning. A lot of the Saudis that are sitting here saying, what the hell is he talking about transition? They don't do a lot of transitioning. They're sitting here, the Saudis are saying, what is he talking about? They're saying, what do you mean women are playing against men? No, that doesn't happen, does it? Yeah, it does. These people are crazy.
Yeah, because if someone came forward in Saudi Arabia and said that, they get their head chopped off. Oh, bro. Trump's suckling on the Saudis. At least it's not Bubba this time. At least it's not the horse. At least the horse isn't getting suckled this time round. Oh,
Point being, even the people you refer to as the world's leading experts,
I don't refer to them. They are the world's leading experts.
But they all accept that these are damaging.
So you've just found some leaked. We don't know where from.
Did they say those quotes?
Source. I have no idea. You wouldn't share the source with me. You just said leaked. It was in the Guardian.
From the Guardian. The Guardian newspaper.
Oh my God. Well, it must be okay. It must be true then. No, it's not. No. Look at the proper research. If you want to pick out this, yeah, then you can. Leaked Guardian. What about the?
Well, the point is, dude, this guy's explained it so badly. The WPATH messages, whilst they're not like a study, what they paint an image of is people that are engaging with this kind of healthcare concept and desperately trying to get answers to things they don't really have good answers for. You know, because it was all based on, I think, it was forum posts, I believe, or messages that were sent to this WPATH organization, desperately trying to seek out answers. And there are good things in there, but he's just described it very badly, and it's allowed her to go, where did that leak from? No, the leak was legitimate. It was a legitimate leak. And, you know, there is ways you can talk about this stuff, but he's obviously just done a quick grok. He's grokked it. He's grokked it before the interview, and now he's just kind of letting her slip away from this, you know? But anyway.
WPATH Standards of Care 8, which went through a 2-year peer review process looking at all the research. That does not say that a 9-year-old had an orgasm. Is that what you said? Or are you talking about an adult?
It was an expert from the president from WPATH who said, I'm unaware.
Dude, look, dude. You want to give the 9-year-old puberty blockers, you freak? Fuck me, trying to do the disgust fucking move. Yeah, you want to stuff them full of fucking things to block their hormones, you fucking weirdo. And you're acting like this about it. The point is, if you block puberty as someone that young, as when they're an adult, right? This is Marcy Bowers, who's the head of the WPATH, saying this. Marcy, because it's a response to the idea, dude. It's like, oh my God, this guy's such a fucking moron. So, the original argument for puberty blockers is there are no long-term impacts of puberty blockers, okay? And the response to that was about bone density. It can have a negative detriment on bone density if puberty blockers are used in this way. Further to that, the person, the head of WPATH, whatever fucking their position was, this Marcy Bowers person, okay, came out and said that if a child is given puberty blockers at Tanner stage 2, right, in adult life, it means they're not going to be able to you know, come to completion, to orgasm, okay? And so the concept of that is, how could a child possibly understand something with that level of ramification, that this is the potential long-term impact of this that you could have? It's impossible to explain, you know, they're not going to understand that concept. They're not going to get it. And it's the same thing with this, trying to explain to a 14-year-old the fertility issues that that will arise as a result of them going on to hormones. They're not going to get it, and they're not going to understand it. And, you know, that's where you get regret. That's where you can get detransition, and all these problems can start to crop up. And it just painted this picture of medical providers that were totally unable, or in some cases, maybe not totally unable, but found it very difficult to have these conversations. And then you could start to talk about the idea of informed consent. Is someone who is 14 years old in a position to make informed consent about things of this nature? And then you say, well, they might not understand cancer treatment, but you still give it to them. Yeah, but with cancer treatment, it's like the consequence of that is that if you don't give them cancer treatment, they die. So you've got to do the best that you can. And then what's the response to that? Well, it's the same with puberty blockers and these treatments. If you don't give them to these kids, they'll kill themselves. And it turns out that's not true. That isn't actually as true as these fucking people have made it out to be, you know? Exactly. That's why you whip up the frenzy about that, because then you make it comparable. Like, the reality is, there isn't the imminent need like there is with cancer treatment, right? And you don't have that with the trans stuff, but they've had to find a way to make that argument work so that they could push the idea that you must give it to them or they'll die, you know? Anyway.
No, of course, a 9-year-old would have an
Anyway.
They said, I'm unaware of an individual claiming the ability to orgasm when they were blocked at stage 2 of puberty. Puberty, of course, can be as young as 9 in girls. So he's saying he's unaware. Every single case this person is saying who's had puberty blockers has gone on to be unable to orgasm in later life. There's many examples of damaged fertility.
Well, if you look at proper research, I don't know about your leaked papers because
okay, let's talk about the CAS review.
But if you look at proper research says that there is much better sexual function if you affirm someone's gender, much better, because they are comfortable and alive and well in their own body and mind.
What? That's fucking bullshit,
okay.
Dude. What are you on
the
about?
Tavistock Clinic found that up to 50% of patients were on the autism spectrum.
Dude, he's literally just reading off his laptop, dude. He's not made any effort to memorize any of this shit, dude. Holy fuck, this is bleak, man.
Suffering with depression, maybe, suffering with autism, Asperger's and so on. 50%. Do you not has it ever sort of dawned on you, or maybe in a conscious moment you've thought, well, hang on a minute, maybe these children who are saying they're born in the wrong body, you know, one day, as I refer to my son, says that he's a girl. Has it ever dawned on you that maybe they're just unhappy because they're struggling to deal with everyday social cohesion and because of their autism or
Well, you don't think that's ever dawned on me? Of course it's dawned on me, I'm a doctor. But are you saying that people with autism or depression shouldn't have care? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I don't think they should be introduced.
If you're autistic, then you mustn't have care. You know, what are we labelling these people as? These people are transgender people who are asking to access health care, just like any other person. But because they're transgender, because they might have made that decision yesterday, which of course they didn't, now, and because maybe there's some autism, maybe they're so depressed because society is so freaking nasty to them, that now it's a reason to deny them care. It seems that everybody just wants to deny people care. These are people, real, live people.
Would you refer, I don't know, anorexia patients to have liposuction if it made them feel better?
Do you really understand how stupid that question
Well, that's body dysmorphia. That's body dysmorphia.
What do you know? You're classifying anorexia as body dysmorphia.
Anorexia is body dysmorphia. You're a doctor, you must know that.
Well, you're saying it, I'm not.
Well, you're the doctor, Dr. Helen Webber.
I am a doctor.
Right, so you agree anorexia is...
No, I do not agree that anorexia is body dysmorphia.
Well, that is the medical definition. When you're shaking, you're a doctor, you should know this. You're running a gender...
Anorexia is body dysmorphia. Don't think so, isn't it? No, what is that right? I can't remember the terminology. Is it? I thought it was dysphoria. Wait, what is the term? I'm just getting confused with the terms. Who's writing this? I just looked up anorexia and it's telling me I can. Dude.
You teach anorexia as body dysmorphia. Is that what you're saying?
Anorexia is body dysmorphia. You're a doctor, you must know that.
Well, you're saying it, I'm not.
Well, yeah,
no,
you're the doctor, Dr. Helen Weberly.
Yeah, I am a doctor.
Right, so you agree anorexia
no,
is...
No, I do not agree that anorexia is body dysmorphia.
Well, that is the medical...
No, anorexia is... Yeah, body dysmorphia is... Yeah, I think anorexia... Yeah, no, I think I get it. Yeah. So, basically, body dysmorphia... No, this is what it is. No, I know. I've just looked it up and I understand now. I didn't need any help. Okay? I've already looked it up. I already know, okay? So, body dysmorphia is the foundational issue that you have, okay? So, you look at your body and you think, I look fat. That's the body, but you don't. You're a normal weight. That's the body dysmorphia. And the anorexia is the act of fucking yourself, like, you know, not eating properly to fuck yourself over. Right? It manifests exactly. So, for example, you could have body dysmorphia, and the body dysmorphia doesn't mean that you undereat and get really thin. It means that you go you go really fucking ham at the gym and become some muscly freak. And you look at yourself and you think, I'm not muscly enough. I need to work out more. That's not anorexia. That's something else, and that's caused by the body dysmorphia. That's me. Okay. So the majority of the time, if you're exhibiting anorexia, you're going to have body dysmorphia. So it's like, technically she's correct. That anorexia doesn't necessarily mean body dysmorphia. And the guy is just kind of like an idiot and just saying whatever. Do you know what I mean? And a doctor would make that distinction because he's not correct. No, he's not. Because that's not. No. It's like she's pedantic and he's careless. That's the best way I can think to describe it. He thought he was getting her in some sort of gotcha, but it's not. He's not actually correct, right? He's trying to do some clever like, oh, a doctor saying that anorexia is a body dysmorphia. No, that's not. That is actually correct to make the distinction.
Medical definition.
When
you're shaking, you're a doctor, you should know this. You're running a gender GP clinic.
You teach me about medicine and
well, it's not a gotcha, but it's just a definition of fact that somebody with anorexia is suffering from body dysmorphia. That's what it is. I'm saying, would you offer them liposuction to make them feel better?
I think that's the most stupid question I've ever been asked. Why do you think anyone would offer somebody who is suffering with anorexia nervosa liposuction?
Well, same question to you. Why would you offer somebody with gender dysmorphia?
No, excuse me, gender dysphoria.
Why would you offer somebody with gender dysphoria permanent, potentially a dark pathway to permanently changing their body?
Yeah, that's because that's what they want.
Cutting off their genitals. Because that's what they want. Okay, same thing as an anorexia patient. If that's what they want, they think they're fat and they want liposuction. If that's what they want, just give it to them, yes?
No, they are completely
right, so what's
different.
The difference?
The difference is that anorexia nervosa is a very, very severe mental illness. And actually we need to be very careful.
Well, there we go. I'd argue transgenderism is a severe mental illness as well.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
of course.
You are way
I don't see any difference.
You don't. Well, then I think you're.
Dude, I gotta be honest with you. I don't like this guy. I know that just because he's on the right side, you guys are cheering him on, but he is extremely retarded, likely due to fetal alcohol syndrome. I would say.
Extraordinarily unkind.
Okay, and just tell us, Gender GP is going to be active in various states here in the US. Have you had any pushback from the Trump administration? Have you heard from anybody here who's got concerns about?
In the eyes. It's in the eyes. I'm telling you. He's a fucking Make-A-Wish kiddie that got onto TV. I'm telling you. Look at the eyes, dude. I'm telling you. It's all in the eyes. It's all in the eyes. Look at the eyes, dude. You see that? In the eyes. Like Adam McIntyre. No, he's just, dude. He's just, it's really irritating to me because I side more with his position on this, okay? And you've got an opportunity to take this person to task for their retarded views, and you look up a couple of factoids on your computer that you then are, you know, squinting at through your fetal alcohol fucking pathetic eyes, and they're like just trying to get gotchas and stuff. And in your desperation, you're careless and you fuck it up. And it's like you could have actually done a much better job of holding it to account for like retarded views. And he's just kind of flumped it, but then people are just going to cheer him on because he's on the right side, you know? Is this clip chimping? No, this guy's got fetal alcohol syndrome and I stand by that. Isn't this just an Asian face? Yes! And I don't know if you've ever done this, but you should plot a graph for Asians and incidences of fetal alcohol syndrome, and you'll be blown away. You'll be totally blown away by just how much alcohol these Asians are guzzling down when they're pregnant. They are absolutely guzzling down the sake when they're pregnant, hence why their eyes are like that. And I am a officially verified, credible doctor. So you can take my word for it, okay? Trust me. Trust me.
Politics. This is about making medical health care accessible to people who need it.
Yeah, well, it's this is the front page of your website here. So be seen, skip the NHS's 5 to 10 year wait times, get compassionate person.
Bro, who are these absolute... Come on, don't be harsh. Come on.
This is about making medical health care accessible.
Jesus. Is that the same person? Wait, is that the same person? Is that them after like 6 months of care?
To people who need it.
Yeah, well, it's this is the front page of your website here. So be seen, skip the NHS's 5 to 10 year wait times, get compassionate, personalised, gender affirming medications in just 2 to 3 weeks. How much do you charge people for signing up to Gender GP?
So the subscription is $29, $29.99 per month.
Per month. Is that a one-time setup fee?
Yeah.
You still got that? How much is that?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't seen that. I don't do the logistics of that bit.
Okay. I think it's £195 one-time fee. Do you feel...
You're on that was the UK website there, didn't you?
Oh,
are you profiteering, Dr. Helen, off the back of vulnerable children who have got mental illnesses? Do you ever consider that?
Transgender children or children who are questioning their gender are not automatically vulnerable, but this kind of conversation makes them extremely vulnerable. And transgender people are not suffering from a mental...
I saw Finster started a clinic recently. I'm just hearing this now for the first time. That is shocking news.
Mental illness, and the fact that you think that or say that on television is
again,
cruel and unkind.
Again, by definition, gender dysphoria is a mental...
Bro, come on, dude, look. I'm telling you. That's why they always have them inside profile. It's to cover it up. Let me bring up the graph again. Dude, come on, bro. Look. That is the clearest case I've ever seen in my fucking life. In all of my years as a doctor, specialising in fetal alcohol syndrome, predominantly in Asians, this is the most clear-cut case I've ever fucking seen, bro. Come on, dude. The producer's currently whispering in his ear, quick, go back to side profile, go back to side profile. Your fetal alcohol eyes are obvious to anyone that's paying half attention to your shitty interview, you fucking retard. Go back to side profile now. People are going to tell. The cat's out of the bag. The fetal alcohol cat is out of the bag.
Condition.
Do you mean a mental illness, or are you saying that?
I think it's a mental illness. Yeah, it's a mental illness.
Do you know one day you will have a transgender person in your life, and you'll look back on this conversation.
I don't think I will, especially not a child, because I'll tell my.
I don't think so.
Child, as I told Zach.
Bro, wait, in a close-up look.
And you'll look back.
Dude. Clear cut, bro. He's looking down to hide it now.
And you'll look back on this conversation.
I don't think I will, especially not the child, because I'll tell my child, as I told Zach, my 2-year-old, he's a sweetheart.
You mustn't
I'll say,
do that.
Zach, I love you.
I'm not gonna
I love you, my
believe
boy.
I'm not gonna affirm
but today you're not Batman, you're not Spider-Man, you're not a girl today. And we've moved on. He's not mentioned it since. And I think if more people did that, instead of open, exactly, he's 2 years old.
But
leave the children alone.
One day,
let them be innocent. Let them
transgender person in your life,
Right.
and you will look back on this and you will regret your words.
Okay, just as I argue that one day, maybe in 10, 15 years, this transgender movement, especially
it's been going on quite a long time, this transgender movement.
Yeah,
you know.
there's a difference. There's a difference between adults wanting to change their gender. I've got a transgender friend from 20 years ago, one of the OG.
Are they still in touch with you? Are they
I'm still friends with them now. The problem is, I don't care. Look, I'm a libertarian. Let trans people do what they want. If you want to.
When do you think people?
If you want to become a man or a quote unquote man or woman, that's fine.
They don't
My
become
problem.
a man or a woman, they are.
I'm concerned. My concern now is that this woman is a witch. And she's hexing him. Dude. Oh my god, dude. What the hell is wrong with me? She's hexing him with a transgender spell. Before you know it, he's going to start taking estrogen and cut his dick off. He's going to go and cut his dick off in a complete fit of rage and not know what he's doing. He's going to saw it off and be like, what have I done? No! Why did I do that?
Okay, whatever. My issue comes. My issue comes with the children.
These are people. You're being so disrespectful.
I'm not. I'm saying let people live their lives.
Oh, whatever.
I'm saying let
become a man, choose to become a man, whatever.
Well,
it's so disrespectful.
I say it in the fact that it doesn't bother me what you want to do with your own life. My problem comes with children.
But when do you think transgender adults become transgender? Do you think it happens at 18, or do you think it actually is their identity from within them, from whenever they were conceived or born?
I actually think you're very dangerous. I think you're taking God-given children who are innocent, who should be left to enjoy the fruits of life and the wonder and amazement of life, and people like you and your husband who has been struck off for recklessly pumping children, or at least referring children for hormones, dangerous levels of testosterone, which they shouldn't have been given in the first place without proper medical diagnoses or review in the first place. I think you're very dangerous, and actually I'd say borderline evil.
Okay, well, I think let's let your listeners decide.
Bro, borderline evil. Jesus Christ. He knows. That's the witchcraft starting to take effect. He instinctively recognizes in his in his brain that is smaller because it got washed with alcohol whilst he was in his mother's stomach. His raw instincts are kicking in, and he's picking up the witchcraft agenda magic that she's participating in. He needs to rebuke her in the name of Jesus. Anyway, guys, there we go. Dude, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I've just been insane all day. Do not hex me, you evil warlock. Stay away, Satan! Now, I tell you what is going on. She wants to trans his child. So she's corrupting his bloodline with gender magic in order to make his child transition. That is what's happening here. Just so she can be proven right later on down the line. Very petty. Typical petty woman, just wants to be right. So, you know, she's cursing his bloodline with gender magic so that she can be correct. When his son eventually transitions. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with me today?